This shop looks popular today. Wonder what the occasion is. Butterfly Dew Cosmetics now on sale. Looks like it. Oh, Sijwin's here too. Hey there, Sijwin!
Hello there, Traveler and Paimon. I hope you're keeping yourselves fit and healthy.
You bet we are. So anyway, what are you doing here, Sijwin?
The Duke insists I take regular vacations in the Court of Fontaine. This one just so happened to coincide with a promotion for a new skincare product, so I came over to take a look. I like to keep up with the latest industry developments when I can, to help me with my magazine articles.
Wait, you write? For a magazine? Which one?
It's called Beautés en Fleur, and it's run by the Fontaine Beauty Association. I've done lots of articles about skincare for them, using the pen name Maritime Flower.
Oh, wow! You're a Maritime Flower? If Paimon's not mistaken, you're one of the leading figures in the Fontaine Beauty Association! What's so weird about that? Everyone loves beauty!
I really like this role. The staff at cosmetics shops are always so polite. And as long as I wear a big smile on my face, I always get the best customer service.
Well, they sure don't want to make an enemy of the Maritime Flower. Obviously, it's because of Sijwin's love for beauty. Still a leader of the Beauty Association? That's incredible.
The truth is, I study this field because I cherish my own appearance. It has nothing to do with being beautiful or not.
Oh, the words of a master beautician defy comprehension! Oh, wait, you're saying that natural beauty is the highest form of beauty, right?
Not really. Actually, Melusine aesthetics are very different from human ones. We don't view humans based on their appearance. If I had to describe our approach, I'd say it's based on cuteness.
Oh, really?
Yep. Still, I really value my current appearance, and in the process of taking care of it, I've ended up learning quite a lot about skincare and stuff. It turns out, my knowledge and experience is pretty popular with beauty product lovers. It came as a big surprise to me, though.
Oh, Paimon gets it now. But speaking of your appearance, how come you look human anyway? Are you like only half Melusine? Ooh, wait, sorry. That was probably really offensive, wasn't it?
No, I don't mind. I'm not mixed, though. I made a decision to turn myself into this form a very long time ago. If you're interested, I could tell you the story.
A shape-shifting story? Oh, heck yeah, of course we're interested!
Once upon a time. Long ago, humans rejected Melusines, and Melusines feared humans. There was one Melusine who became fascinated with human medicine, but no human wanted her help. And there was one girl who liked Melusines, so no humans would make friends with her. So, the Melusine became the girl's friend, and the girl became the Melusine's patient. Your checkup's all done. You're still in perfect health.
Thank you, Dr. Melusine.
In this game of doctor and patient, a friendship was born. Then, one day, the girl fell ill. The Melusine was the only doctor to arrive on time, but the adults sent her away.
Scram! Melusines can't be trusted!
So just because I'm not human, can't save my best friend? In desperation, the Melusine approached the frightening witch. She begged and begged until she got a reply.
If you take this potion, concocted of sin, you will gain a human face and grow human limbs. But then, you will lose everything that attracted this friend of yours to you in the first place. Can you accept that?
The Melusine did not hesitate for very long. On a rainy night, a little doctor knocked on the girl's door. The doctor wore a hood and raincoat, maybe to protect her from the rain, but maybe also to hide a secret. The little doctor held the girl's hand and treated her illness, just as she had so many times before. Dawn came, and the little girl's condition improved. But the little doctor was long gone, for she knew her friend would never recognize her again. And so, since then, I've lived my life in human form. Most people who know me just think I was born this way.
Ooh. A witch? A potion? Why does this sound like a fairy tale?
Trust me, it's a true story.
Must be the way you told it then. It just sounds so... Yeah, not every Melusine would take human form to save their human friend. That must have been a huge decision.
Treating patients is a doctor's duty. We must always find a way, even when the going gets tough.
Ugh. It's so crazy that they turned you away just because you were a Melusine, especially when their daughter was so sick.
Well, sometimes appearance can be a real barrier. But that was a long time ago. I like how I look now anyway.
Paimon too! You're super cute this way.
Attention customers! Thank you all for waiting. Now, on behalf of our skincare partner, I'm delighted to announce that our exciting new product is now officially on sale.
Well, there we go. Let's have a look, shall we? Oh, Paimon, if you want to buy any skincare products, I'll be happy to give you some suggestions.
Really? Personal advice right from a leader of the Fontaine Beauty Association? What an honor!
Allow me to introduce our newest skin lotion, Butterfly Dew. I'm sure many of you have already read about this product's trials in the newspapers. To say that it improves skin quality is an understatement. This product gets its name from the way it transforms your skin and makes it glow anew, like a butterfly emerging from its chrysalis and spreading its wings for the first time. We are thrilled to have the inventor of this fantastic product with us here today. Please welcome Mr. Rawat, a researcher from the Fontaine Research Institute. Now, without further ado, I'll hand over to Mr. Rawat to tell you all about what Butterfly Dew can do for you.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Rawat, and I developed Butterfly Dew.
Wow, what a looker.
He's a researcher? Wow, he's really challenging the stereotype.
It seems that everyone is surprised by my entrance. Or should I say, my appearance. I'm well aware that researchers are generally better known for their brains than their dashing good looks. In that regard, I do believe I break the mold somewhat. Of course, appearance is a skin-deep way of defining a person. And yet one's appearance can be a very real set of shackles, holding a person back in their life. It can rob a young person of their self-confidence when applying for a job, dissuade a young lady from approaching the one she loves. Our actions are at the mercy of our appearance, and we slowly become the very person that the outside world sees us as. But what if I told you that those shackles can be broken? If our appearance prevents us from changing, then let us first change our appearance itself. Wash away moles, birthmarks, and wrinkles, and they can no longer rob us of our confidence. Replace them with luster and radiance, and we shall never again hang our heads in shame. That is why Butterfly Dew exists. Its mission is to allow us to shed our pupae, undergo a complete metamorphosis, and embrace a new life.
Well, whether it actually works or not, after that speech, Paimon's already sold!
Mr. Rawat, could I ask if you've used this product yourself?
Of course, I tried it many times while I was testing it. You can consider me a product ambassador.
Wow, then it's sure to work!
Still, I don't expect to convince you just by blowing my own trumpet. So, could I get a volunteer from the audience to try it out?
Oh, Paimon volunteers!
Oh! Ah, what an honor! It appears we have a giant of the Fontaine Beauty Association here with us. In that case, Miss Sijwin, could we seek your most expert opinion on this product?
Sure.
Whoa, is that Romaritime flower? They say she's the pickiest user of skincare products in all of Fontaine.
Here you go.
Well, it's very kind to the skin, and the absorption rate is high. Even for Fontaine, this is a first-rate product.
Wow, now that's high praise!
I'll take one.
Any discounts?
All right. Well, all that remains for me to say is, Butterfly Dew is now on sale!
Think we should buy a bottle too? Aww, really? Well, it's still good to care for your skin though, right? Paimon definitely feels kinda rough from being exposed to the elements all the time. And if you're worried about whether it's the right product for you, well, luckily for us, Sijwin's here, so we can get an expert consultation.
I'm buying for a friend, but I just want to check. This is designed for both women and men, right?
I was looking to switch up my skincare routine anyway. I'm gonna try this out as soon as I get home tonight.
Aw, I wish I'd saved up my pocket money.
Stocks are running low, so purchase soon to avoid disappointment.
It's an honor to receive such high praise from you. To be honest, I was also hoping you might be able to point out some flaws in the product so I can keep improving it.
With most skincare products, the pros and cons only become apparent with long-term use. Yet, this one has instant benefits, improving skin quality without any obvious side effects. It's one of a kind. Don't worry, though. I plan to keep using it, and I'll publish regular reviews in Beautés en Fleur. You can read my thoughts there. All you need to do is subscribe.
Oh, I was hoping for a more casual conversation, but you are a beauty association leader after all. I understand if you want to keep this professional.
Sijwin! Oh, excuse us, Miss Beauty Expert, but do you think this product is a good choice for me and her?
Wait, are you the renowned traveler?
That's right, and by her side, the equally famous Paimon.
Well, I don't normally handle customer questions personally, but since it's the traveler asking, allow me to make an exception. Butterfly Dew is made for all skin types, so no matter who you are, you can rest assured that it will be kind to your skin. If anything, it might be marginally more effective on Fontanian's skin, but other than that, it works the same on everyone.
Why would it work better on Fontanians?
In the interests of protecting my trade secrets, I'm afraid I can't answer that, Miss Paimon.
All right then. How about a friend discount?
Save yourself the trouble. I'd be greatly honored to have both of you use my product. Here, take 2 bottles for free.
Yay! Paimon's private fund survives!
I can see why you might think that, but please don't misunderstand. This gift is simply a token of my esteem. There's no business motivation behind it. To me, finding new customers for Butterfly Dew is about meeting kindred spirits, fellow admirers of physical beauty. I consider it a labor of love.
Admirers of physical beauty? Eesh, that's embarrassing to say out loud. It sounds so shallow.
It's nothing to be ashamed of, Miss Paimon. Most people claim to desire inner virtue, but it's still physical appearance that turns their heads. This is a fact of life. It's only natural for people to desire to become beautiful. And that's exactly what inspired me to choose this research direction in the first place.
You're right. Everyone loves beauty, don't they?
Look at the time. My apologies, but I have other things to attend to. I'll leave you with these 2 bottles of Butterfly Dew, and I look forward to seeing you again.
Paimon, I'd say there's no need for you and the Traveler to use this product for now.
Why? Is there a problem with it?
The quality is fine. I just think there's room for improvement. I think I could add some ingredients to the mix to make it more effective.
Really? Then why didn't you tell Rawat about that?
Researchers are a very special breed of human. You can point out their flaws to their face and they won't mind very much. But if you tell them that someone else could do a better job, ooh, now that'll make them really upset. If I'd mentioned it, he probably wouldn't have given you those 2 bottles for free.
Fair enough, that makes sense.
If you're interested in the more effective version, I can write up a list of ingredients for you. Just come get me once you've gathered them.
When you say more effective, you mean it'll make Paimon even prettier? Ooh, how can we say no?
As for me, it's probably time I got back to the Fortress of Meripede. I mustn't leave the infirmary unattended for too long.
All right, see you there then. Just up ahead, Traveler. The ingredients for Sijwin should be nearby.
Laid bare.
Great! That's everything! Let's head to the Fortress of Meripede!
Surprise!
Whoa, the infirmary is packed.
Please, you have to believe me. I saw it with my own eyes last night. Another me. He looked exactly like me.
Got it? Okay. I've written down everything you told me. Now, I have a few tests to run. Take a deep breath, and don't worry, it's nothing to be nervous about. First, which finger am I holding up?
Your index finger, but I'm telling you, my mental state is fine. I'm not crazy.
Very good. Now, on to the next.
Hey there, Your Grace. It's been a while, huh?
Ah, it's you two. Indeed it has. I would offer you some tea, but I'm afraid the timing is unfortunate. Duty calls.
No worries. Actually, we were looking for Sиджвин. Do you, know what all of this is about?
This inmate came running to the guards in a panic, claiming to have seen his exact doppelganger.
A doppelganger? Doesn't that just mean someone else kinda looks like him?
And that's what I thought when the report first reached my desk. But we've inspected our records. No one even vaguely resembles him. Considering how certain he is of what he saw, I can only surmise that he's having some mental issues. So I brought him for a medical evaluation.
All right, very good. Take a sip of water and rest for a bit. Evaluation complete. I couldn't find any symptoms pointing to a physical condition.
I see. So do you still believe there's more likely to be an issue with his mind than his body?
I have to assume so for now. Psychological issues are more difficult to detect. At this stage, we can at least confirm that he is in command of his cognitive faculties.
The rumor mill will go crazy if word of this gets out. Guards, take him to the ward for a period of observation. The Marechaussee Phantom has requested my cooperation on a case, otherwise I'd deal with this myself. Sorry for the trouble, head nurse, but I'll have to leave this to you.
No problem, Your Grace. I'll add him to my observation list.
By the way, we have a couple of guests here who have made the trip just to see you. I imagine it must be important. You probably won't need to add them to your observation list, though.
Oh, Traveler! Paimon, it's you!
Hey there, Sиджвин! It's actually not that important, but...
I'll be in my office if you desperately need me. Goodbye for now.
Okay, bye-bye! So, Sиджвин...
Would you mind waiting for just a moment? I have another patient to see. Just find an empty bed and take a seat. I won't be long.
Oh, sure!
Sijwin, we've brought him. And he seems to have taken a turn for the worse again.
Okay, don't panic. Let's start by sitting him down here.
Paimon had no idea how busy it can get for Sиджвин. Maybe now's not the time to ask for her help with skincare. Good point. Besides, it might actually be interesting to observe her at work.
Well, this could hurt, so I suggest you take a deep breath first.
Did his face melt? What happened to him?
It's anyone's guess. His face melted off shortly after arriving at the fortress. But since he's a serious offender, he can't be allowed out for medical treatment. Best we can do for now is ask the head nurse to give him something to manage the symptoms. This is gonna be awkward. We still need to bring him to the Marechaussee Phantom for questioning. What if he scares them half to death? Will that be our fault?
The Marechaussee Phantom? Does this have something to do with the case Risley's dealing with?
Yep, it was a huge case. They bagged a few dozen crooks in one fell swoop. And this guy's the baddest apple of the bunch. He harmed countless people. And now, it looks like it's all finally catching up with him.
You done gawking?
Not yet. I need to check the severity of your ulcers to decide the right dosage. Don't worry. We Melusines have a very different sense of aesthetics from humans. To me, he just looked like a little kitty with slightly scruffy fur, but still just as cute.
Don't patronize me. Do I look like a kid to you? Just give me the meds and let me out of here. I already missed my cell.
Hey, lose the attitude. You dare talk back to our head nurse like that again? Your days are numbered.
Oh, it's fine. Okay, I'm going to apply the medication now. Tell me if it hurts, all right?
Look how nice Sijwin's being. And he still talks to her like that? What a nasty piece of work.
Can I leave now?
Wow, not a peep. What a brave little guy.
Thank you, Sijwin. And I apologize for the trouble.
So, Traveler, Paimon, did you bring the ingredients?
We did, but we don't want to interfere or anything. You're busy saving lives here.
Oh, don't be silly. I agreed to it, didn't I? Just hand me the ingredients, and I'll make some time to whip it into the improved version for you. Take a rest here if you want. Or, if you're not tired, I hear they're holding a new pancreation tournament in the administration area.
Or alternatively, is there anything we could help you with, Sijwin? That's right! Let us help you out! It's the least we could do!
Good point. Kind-hearted humans start to develop guilt if they accept free help from others. Don't worry. I'll take a look at my schedule. I'm sure I can find something to treat this condition. I gotta warn you, though, it'll be tiring work. So I suggest you take a break first, then come back and see me when you're ready.
We're ready, Sijwin! What's our first mission?
I found the perfect job for the Traveler. First, I'd like you to lie down in this bed.
What for?
I need you to pretend to be sick.
What?
Oh, is it that difficult? I thought you did a pretty good job last time.
Oh, so you knew.
I sure did. She was way more interesting than the usual malingering inmates. When you played along very well, Paimon, I observed you two for quite a while after that.
Well, this is awkward. But why do you need us to do it again now?
No time to explain. My next patient will be here any second. Oh, please, just do as I say. You can, pretend like you've got a nasty headache. And throw in some dry heaving for good measure.
Okay.
Hey, Duck, it's me. I'm only here because my mom won't stop pestering me about it. So annoying.
Well, your mother has enough on her plate with a busy job. Well, the last thing she needs is to worry about you being sick as well.
I know. I shouldn't treat the place like a playground. Shouldn't go swimming in the lower levels where we join up with the sea, because it'll give me a cold and distract her from her work. I thought I'd be able to have some fun here at the fortress for a few days, but it's always, don't do this and don't do that.
All right, sit yourself down and I'll take your temperature. Your fever still hasn't gone down. Well, here's your medicine. 1 cup for starters, and we'll see if it helps.
But Doc, it's so bitter. Do I really have to drink it? I mean, I'll be fine, right? I've got an uncle who caught a cold. His fever went away on its own after a couple days. Can't you just write me a note saying I'm on the mend? I just need something to keep my mom off my case.
I sure can. You're a very brave boy after all.
Huh? Brave? What makes you say that?
Well, if you want to rely on your own immune system to clear up your fever, then you'll have to tough it out like this young lady.
Hang in there, Traveler! Are you gonna puke? Someone could get you a paper bag!
Huh?
As long as you're tough enough to get through the nausea and dizziness caused by the high fever, you'll be right as rain after just a few days' rest.
And if I'm not tough enough?
Hey! Wake up! Wake up!
Put it this way, at least you'll never have to see the doctor again, right?
I think maybe I'll take that medicine after all, if that's okay.
Oh, of course. Here, it's still warm.
It's so bitter.
All done. Great job, you two.
That kid really doesn't know what's good for him.
His mother's a guard here. She's been working back-to-back shifts lately, but unfortunately, his father's away on a business trip right now. She had no choice but to bring her son here for the time being. He was quite happy at first. He seemed to think that the Fortress of Meripede would be all fun and games.
So you made us put on that act just to scare a kid into taking his medicine? That's a pretty sneaky trick. Seems like there's a whole side to Sиджвин we never knew about.
It's a technique I learned from my teacher.
Oh, you had a teacher? Was she a Melusine doctor too?
She was human. She passed away a long time ago.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. I really liked my teacher, so it's always nice when I get to talk about her with other people. She was a traveling doctor, and since she didn't have a clinic, she'd go out and visit her patients wherever they were. Dealing with the badly behaved ones was her specialty. She used to say, if you can scare the little brats into taking their medicine, you won't have to hear them wailing and screeching when their condition gets worse.
She sounds like a pretty strict teacher.
Strict? Well, that's not how my teacher saw it. She thought of herself as terrifying to kids.
Strange way for a doctor to describe themselves. Now Paimon's curious to know what she looked like.
As it happens, I actually have a picture of her.
Oh, wow, yeah, okay, that'll terrify the kids.
Yep. All the children she treated thought she was a witch.
Why does it almost sound like you're envious of her?
Oh, because I am. If she was here, all the children would take their medicine without any need for tricks.
A doctor who looks like a witch. True, they wouldn't dare try anything funny with her around.
Oh, me, on the other hand, it's hopeless. Children aren't afraid of me at all.
That's actually a good thing, you know?
Oh, my next patient should be arriving now. Would you mind lending me a hand again?
Sure thing! On to the next mission! Is it nighttime already? That flew by. You really have a busy job, Sиджвин.
Well, thanks to you two, it was much easier today.
Aww. Should we get some rest? It's getting pretty late.
Oh, there is one last thing. I have to keep it confidential, so I usually leave it till after everyone's clocked out.
Confidential? Are you sure you can tell us?
Well, it's fine. You're not living here anymore, so it's okay if you know. All it is I have to prepare some ingredients to make healthy meals with.
Wait, you mean those healthy meals?
My patients refuse to eat any healthy meals I prepare in front of them, so I have to prep the ingredients in secret, then let the chef at the Coupon cafeteria handle the rest.
Considering even the chef's version makes people uneasy, it really makes you wonder what's in it.
You want to find out? I can teach you how to make it. That way, if you ever suffer from exhaustion on your future travels, you can prepare a healthy meal for yourself. It's really good for you, you know.
Sure? Guess we can help out one more time.
The ingredients are ready. Now, put them on the table and add them in the order I tell you. First, we add this special slime condensate, stir it thoroughly, then pour it in. Oh, see that? It adds elasticity. It looks just like tasty jelly, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. Until you remember it's slime condensate.
Next up, xenochromatic crystals. You want to crush them up into a fine powder, like powdered sugar.
Wait, are those from Fontimer Aberrants? Are you sure they're edible?
Finally, we'll need some high-protein meat. Frogs are an excellent choice. You just need to clean their innards, and then you're left with some lovely, tender meat.
Oh! Frogs.
And we're done. All that's left now is to pack them into lunchboxes and hand them to Walsey. Yesterday in the production zone, I noticed an inmate who's been working for 2 days straight. That means it's a healthy meal for him tomorrow.
Sиджвин really does have the inmate's best interests at heart.
Ah, head nurse. Got some extras for me?
Just the one today. The serial number's on the lid.
Sounds good. I'll make sure it gets delivered.
Sounds like they're talking in code.
Thanks for your help.
Oh, it's no trouble at all. I only wish I could do more. You work so hard for all our sakes. I'd happily lose a little sleep if it meant helping you out.
That won't do. If you reduce your sleeping hours any further, your health will start to suffer.
All right. Nurse's orders. I'll do as I'm told. But you take care of yourself too.
Well, I'm done with work for today. Thanks for helping out, you two.
Seems like the guards and staff here have a lot of respect for you, Sиджвин. In just one day of helping you with your work, it feels like we've done a lot for the fortress.
Head nurse, please, wait. I'm sorry to disturb you this late at night, but I think you'll agree, this is urgent.
Okay, just relax and catch your breath. What's the matter?
The guard at the observation ward, Odilon, he told me to pass on a message to you. One of the inmates there, the guy suffering from possible hallucinations, well, he seems to have made a sudden recovery, and now he wants to apply for permission to leave the ward.
Huh? Already?
You were right to tell me. I'll have to examine him and make sure he's well before we discharge him.
Looks like we've got one job as medical assistants left. We'll come with you.
Ah, head nurse, you're finally here. I'm so sorry for all the trouble I've caused you, but I believe I've now made a full recovery. After giving it some thought, I'm sure that I was probably just seeing things. Stress-related, I imagine. I'd been working long hours, so I definitely wasn't in the best state of mind.
I totally understand. Still, I have to give you an examination before I can discharge you, okay? So, take a deep breath and don't be nervous. It'll be the exact same procedure as we did this morning. We can start whenever you're ready.
Again, so sorry. I was in such a state this morning, I barely recall anything. Would you mind taking me through it again?
Oh, not at all. It's a lot to remember. First up, we have a little cognitive test. Just concentrate and you'll be fine. To start with, which finger am I holding up?
Your pinky.
All right, all indicators seem normal.
So it was a stress-induced hallucination after all?
Well, we've certainly had previous cases of mental illness caused by overwork, which is why I carefully observe everyone in the production zone. I wonder how I managed to miss the signs this time.
Please, head nurse, you shouldn't blame yourself. I'm just still adapting, that's all. Pushed myself too hard, and I guess I couldn't take it. Thanks for looking after me. I'll be as good as new after a good night's sleep. And if you can give me the okay, I know I'll sleep better back in my good old dorm.
It can be difficult to relax in an unfamiliar environment. All right then, you can leave the ward. I suggest you take 2 days off to focus on your recovery. I'll take you off the observation list for now, so you're officially discharged.
Great. I can't thank you enough, head nurse.
Mr. Odilon, could you escort him back?
Of course. I'm on guard duty in the administrative area tonight, so nothing will go wrong. You have my word.
Guess you're finally done for the day now, huh?
Yep. But I still haven't gotten around to making that improved lotion for you yet.
Oh, no rush! Seriously, it's super late now. You should go get some rest too.
Well, tomorrow it is then. Good night, Traveler. Good night, Paimon. Hope you sleep well.
Oh, don't you worry. We will. After a productive day of work, we're both gonna sleep like a log. Yeah, sleep tight, Sijwin. See you tomorrow. Paimon really did sleep like a log. Let's go find Sijwin.
Surprise! Step on up.
Whoa! How is the infirmary even busier than yesterday?
Good morning, Traveler and Paimon. I have a few people here for a checkup, so you might need to wait for a while.
No problem. Anything we can do to help?
There's a bit of a complicated situation here. I'm still getting to the bottom of it myself.
You have to believe me. I'm telling the truth.
You're in a medical facility. Keep it down.
Please, listen to me. I'm not Gascon. I'm Uy.
You're a horrible liar, you know that? We get all your mugshots with the arrest warrants. It's clear as day that you're Gascon.
You mean because of the way I look? I don't know what happened. I just woke up like this. Then you guys dragged me in here for an interrogation.
I brought you here to figure out what's going on. If you truly are the victim of an injustice, yelling isn't going to achieve anything. At most, it'll delay your vindication.
All right. I get it.
This is nuts. Yesterday's interrogations went fine, and now this.
Morning, Your Grace. What's going on?
Remember the case I mentioned yesterday? The one brought to me by the Marechaussee Phantom? Well, we've been questioning the inmates involved this morning. Every single one of them is claiming mistaken identity.
Huh. That's even weirder than what that guy was saying yesterday.
The thing is, none of them have been able to provide any evidence whatsoever to support their claims. Questioning them further got us nowhere, so for now, we've brought them to the infirmary.
And we thought yesterday was as busy as it got for Sijwin.
We've compiled their statements. Have a look. Perhaps there's something we missed.
Wait.
Release? Interesting. The inmates they spoke of in their statements appear to all be due for release today.
I noticed that too. If that's their plan, they're underestimating us a little. Every serious offender claims that there's someone else who just so happens to be due for release today. And they're expecting us to go along with that.
All the more reason to be cautious. Lumberzar, check the release list for today and make sure no one gets processed. We're gonna need an excuse, though. Just say we're out of forms, and that we're furiously printing more as we speak.
I'm on it.
It's conceivable that our group of serious offenders somehow found a way to switch places with inmates who are about to be released, so they can walk out right under our noses.
We did consider that possibility. But I mean, just look at them. They match the warrants, period. How could there have been a switch?
Only if they're dead ringers for the inmates due for release, I suppose. I gave you that name list yesterday to assist in your investigation. Did that help?
Yes, the inmates' mugshots were attached to the list. The first thing I did was check for lookalikes, and I didn't find any. The only other thing that stands out to me is that their voices sound a little different today. But it's not exactly hard to put on a fake voice.
Oh, really? What does our head nurse make of all of this?
Give me a moment. I think I have a way to confirm whether there's been a switch. I know, it's not time to change your dressing yet, but please bear with me.
Huh? Isn't that the guy from yesterday?
This should be Honore. He has very severe facial ulcers, which require an operation in the hospital at the Court of Fontaine. I authorized him to leave the fortress for medical treatment under guarded escort.
Yes, like I told you. I'm not Putton. I'm Honore.
So there has been a swap. Well, I can see what happened in Potton's case, but how do you explain the other inmates? You're not telling me their souls switched bodies, are you?
No, I believe it was their faces that got switched. The method is a bit like replacing a tooth. Take the bad tooth out, put a false one in. And actually, I think I can prove it to you. Traveler, Paimon, do you remember Eric from the other day?
Yeah, sure do.
Then you can be my witnesses. To start with, please fetch the inmate who claims to be Eric. So, you're Eric?
Yes, head nurse. It's me. You do believe me, right?
I need to do another examination on you. Same procedure as yesterday.
All right. It's the cognition test first, right? So I need to concentrate.
Now, try to recall if you can. The last time we did this test, which finger did I hold up?
I believe it was your index finger.
But that means...
Huh?
So basically, last night, the Eric who said he saw another him suddenly recovered and applied to leave the observation ward. Sijwin did another test before letting him leave, but that time, she held up her pinky finger.
Huh? I don't know about any tests last night. There was nothing to do in the observation ward, so I went straight to bed. Then I somehow woke up in a high-security cell.
Well, in that case, there is a reasonable explanation for the strange events of the past 2 days.
So, what exactly happened?
The gang of serious offenders wanted to break out of prison, so they identified a group of scapegoats, namely inmates whose terms were almost up, and planned to switch appearances with them. Last night, when Odilon was on duty, they ambushed him and had one of their group switch appearances with him using their face-swapping method. That allowed them to avoid scrutiny from the other guards. Then, once all the other inmates were asleep, Odilon spent his night shift carrying out the remainder of their switcheroo plan. However, they made one mistake. Henri changed his appearance to match Eric's earlier than he should have done, and ended up being spotted by the real Eric. Real Eric came to the guards for help, but we didn't know then what we know now, so we put it down to hallucination and sent him to the observation ward. However, since one of the gang members was posing as a guard, they simply changed real Eric's appearance and had their Eric take his place, muddying the waters even further.
Right, because I put Eric on the observation list by then, and no inmates on that list can be processed for departure until I've discharged them.
Hence why the imposters had to pull that little stunt to get fake Eric off the list.
Yeah, it all makes sense now! The Duke cracked the case!
Well, I can't fault the reasoning. But I'm afraid that we ruled out the possibility of face switching very early on in this process.
Criminals altering their facial appearance to commit crimes is nothing new. In fact, one of the explicit duties of the Melazines in the Marechaussee Phantom is to identify criminals in disguise. We carefully examined all the suspects, and there is no evidence that any means of disguise were used in this case.
Huh. Well then, how do we explain all this?
So far, it seems more likely that the gang stole documentation belonging to the inmates due for release, and are using that to commit identity fraud.
Actually, there is a potion that can completely change someone's appearance. If they use that, even a Melazine wouldn't be able to detect it.
A shape-shifting potion?
Forgive me, head nurse, but this is the first time I'm hearing about it. If such a potion truly existed, it would jeopardize our entire investigative process at the Marechaussee Phantom. Are you certain of this?
Yes, I am.
But...
Please, trust me in my professional opinion as an experienced clinician.
At the same time, without any solid evidence, it's pure speculation. If we can round up all the inmates suspected of switching places, then have a little talk with both sides, we might just get our answer. Yep, let's do that.
Okay. Well, it was our negligence that meant we had to come and conduct these post-internment interrogations. And I know it's put you out. We'll do it your way.
Your Grace, bad news. I paused the releases like you asked, but we were too late. A bunch of people already got processed 2 hours ago. I checked the list, and sure enough, it's all the people who gave statements.
2 hours ago? That's before today's interrogations began. They had this all planned out.
So there really was a switch after all. They really pulled the wool over our eyes on this one.
We should be able to catch up with them if we leave now, right?
Not if that potion is real. They can just switch faces again after leaving the fortress. And if the Marishose's Melusines can't even spot them, we wouldn't know where to start searching.
Yikes! So we're at a complete dead end!
Well, technically there is one more lead we could follow up on. We were only able to arrest this gang thanks to the help of a researcher from the Fontaine Research Institute. I believe his name is Rawat.
Oh? Rawat? Isn't that the handsome guy we met at that skincare promotion?
Handsome? Maybe from a human point of view. I just remember that he specialized in potions. One of the crimes this gang is charged with is the manufacture and sale of illicit drugs. According to Mr. Rawat, they appear to have stolen technology he developed through his research and used it in their operation. At first, he thought it was a typical case of intellectual property infringement, and he tried to negotiate with them. But once he discovered their criminal operation, he reported them to the authorities. Thanks to his report, we were able to swoop in and arrest them all in one go.
What a hero! Bet that took courage on his part.
No doubt. This is worth following up on. As the one who snitched on them, it's highly likely that Rawat will be targeted by the escapees. That aside, since he's negotiated with them in person before, there's a chance he'll have some additional information for us.
Understood, Your Grace. My team and I will head to the Fontaine Research Institute right away. In the meantime, please keep an eye on the face switch victims for us.
Of course.
Miss Morgan, I'd like to come along and help you catch these criminals.
Huh? Why's that?
Well, I'm the one who discharged the fake Eric last night, so I feel partly responsible.
Don't say that, head nurse. Your focus was on the inmates' health, and rightly so. We can't ask you to help with arresting criminals. That's our duty.
I also have a more personal reason. Potton is a patient of mine, and if I don't get a new batch of medicine to him in time, his condition will get much worse.
Look, head nurse, I completely understand where you're coming from. But arresting criminals is dangerous business. And if anything happened to you, none of us can afford to take on that responsibility.
Don't worry, I can defend myself just fine.
You say that, but still.
If I may, Miss Morgan, Sijwin is the one who raised the potion hypothesis, and I'm sure she has far more expertise on the topic than your team. My suggestion would be to bring her with you. And if you really are worried for her safety, then... Ah, there you go, right on cue. Knew I could count on you.
Okay. Well, since this plan has the Duke's blessing, far be it from me to refuse. We should head off immediately. Time is of the essence.
My eyes is ill.
Greetings. Sorry to impose, but I'm afraid we're here on urgent business. And we're gonna need you to cooperate.
The Marechaussee Phantom. Let me guess, you're investigating some more legal research?
Not this time, no. We're looking for a researcher. Do you know where we might find Mr. Rawat?
Rawat. Oh yeah, Mr. Handsome, right? He actually doesn't work on site here very often. There's a handful of researchers in the nearby area who know him pretty well, though. You can see what they know.
Just a handful? Paimon figured he'd be the most popular guy around.
Well, I guess you could say he's popular, at least on a superficial level. He's blessed with good looks, so he tends to make a good first impression on people. But in all his time here at the Fontaine Research Institute, I don't think he's ever had a single deep conversation about his research with his peers. That's no way to make real friends around here.
That's so weird. He definitely didn't come across like a recluse at that product promotion.
Oh, I don't find that weird at all. He definitely didn't strike me as the kind of guy who's good at making friends.
Really? Paimon couldn't tell. Must be a Melusine perception thing.
Okay, we should talk with his acquaintances. But we also need to check the Research Institute for any clues. Let's split up. It'll save us some time.
Sure thing. We'll go ask around among the other researchers with Sijwin. Paimon's suddenly kind of curious to know what everyone really thinks of him. Excuse us, are you Audrey?
That's me. What is it?
Are you close friends with Rawat? We're trying to find out where he is.
Close friends? You mean because I told him I had feelings for him once? I doubt I'm the first or last at the Institute to make that mistake. Why would you single me out as a close friend? I should have known, really. Men like him, they just enjoy being surrounded by fawning women. They're not interested in a serious relationship.
Okay. We were just kind of wondering if you might know where we can find him.
Why would I know where he's at? I barely know him, and he probably doesn't even remember me.
Ugh, this is getting annoying. Shall we go ask someone else?
I think she knows Rawat better than she cares to admit. If we leave now, it might be a wasted opportunity.
Maybe, but we're not going to get much out of her while she's in this state, are we?
She's displaying symptoms common among people in love, if that's what you mean. But I know a cure.
It's curable?
Oh, we're still no closer to finding Mr. Rawat. Oh, by this point, he could be in grave danger.
Danger? Wait, why are you looking for him again?
Oh, that's right, yeah! The Marechaussee Phantom said that he's been targeted by some pretty bad people. We need to make sure he's safe.
What? How has this happened? He seemed fine when I last saw him, and that was only a couple of days ago. Just happened to run into him, of course.
Oh, I see. Well, do you have any thoughts on where he might be right now?
Okay, but this is purely out of concern for his safety. If he's not at the Institute, he might be at his mother's place. I heard she raised him alone, that they had it pretty tough financially, and these days she's housebound due to illness. He makes regular trips back home to check on her.
Oh, okay. Do you know the address?
Nope, sorry. I only found out the thing about his mother because it came up in conversation once. I was just trying to find out more about him, so I could get to know him better. When I told him I had a crush on him, I offered to help him take care of his mother. And yeah, maybe that was a stupid idea, but did he really have to yell at me for it? It's like, fine, I can take no for an answer, but what's with the temper tantrum? Unbelievable. These guys only want to show you their charming, well-groomed exterior. They can't stand it when a few home truths shine through.
Looks like her love syndrome is flaring up again.
We need to find out Mr. Rawat's mother's address. Let's check with the Marechaussee officers when we regroup.
Cool, sounds like a plan.
Well, I've told you everything I know. Don't you think it's time for you to go looking for him? Not that I care, obviously.
Hey there, are you in Teep?
What do you want?
We're here to ask about Rawat. Any idea where he might be? We were told you were pretty close with him.
Close? Not sure that's the word I'd use. He wouldn't even let me use his patent.
Huh?
It's been a good few days since I last saw him. I don't know where he's at. Go ask someone else.
Would the patent in question happen to be related to the new skincare product he developed?
Yeah, kinda. Butterfly dew, or whatever he calls it. I heard he made a tidy sum off of that one.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Keep going.
Most of the other researchers here focus on mechanics, energy, stuff like that. I get why he wouldn't be interested in having anything to do with them. But I'm studying coatings. There's a huge overlap in our areas of research. Why would he refuse to work with me? I bought his product once and noticed it contains a unique substance that might have applications in coatings, too. If it worked out, I could probably make as much as he's making. Don't get me wrong, I had no intention of plagiarizing his work. I was hoping to get official permission to use his findings in my own research. Followed the proper procedure. It was all above board. I would have had to pay him a license fee and everything. But despite that, he turned me down not once, not twice, but 3 times. It's like he's vehemently opposed to the idea of anyone else making the kind of money he does.
Huh, so is Rawat antisocial, or is this guy just jealous? Well, it doesn't look like we're gonna get any info about Rawat's whereabouts from him. Let's go.
Wait, 1 second. Mr. Antib, next time you go shopping, you should buy some Buell fruits. Peel the skin, steep in water, then drink. It'll help calm your mood.
Huh? Yeah. Thanks. Gonna have to cut this chat short. I have a patent application to write.
Yeah.
Sorry to bother you, sir, but are you Bertram?
Who's asking?
Just some concerned citizens helping out the Marechaussee Phantom with an investigation. We'd like to ask you about Rawat's whereabouts, if that's okay. We're told the two of you are pretty close.
Not anymore, we're not. Turns out we don't see eye to eye.
Oh yeah? What happened?
The thing about us researchers is, most of us do what we do for some sort of higher purpose. But not Rawat. All he cared about was how to commercialize his findings. He won't even let you work with him unless you sign a confidentiality agreement first. Also, he has better control over who gets which intellectual property rights. How are you supposed to get any meaningful research done working with a guy like that? Now that I've got my own technical solution for my compressor, I don't need to work with him anymore.
So that's what Rawat is really like.
We'd still like to know where to find him. Is that something you can help us with?
Wait, Yeah, I know you. You're the head nurse at the Fortress of Meropide. Alright, then I'm happy to help you if I can. I respect the work you do. Medicine serves the highest purpose of all the sciences.
Wow, turns out Sijwin's got some real clout.
Thing is, I have no real way of knowing where he might be. I stopped working with him 2 months ago, and I've barely seen him since. But if you want my advice, I'd say go talk to the peddlers. There's a few he meets with every other day or so. Maybe they know where he's at.
Peddlers?
Yeah, back when I was working with him, I noticed he met with them quite often. Wouldn't surprise me if they were involved in some shady business together, because it seemed like they went out of their way to avoid discussing anything in my presence. The little I overheard was about manufacturing and selling pharmaceutical drugs. Like I said, he's all about the money.
Drugs? Doesn't he work with skincare products? Do those count as drugs?
Who knows? I never cared to find out. He's the Morag rubber, not me.
Thank you. You've given us plenty to work with.
Welcome. Goodbye, and may we both reach new heights in our scientific endeavors.
Well, that's all three researchers. Let's head back to the meetup point.
If my research project works out, the development of underwater spaces should become much easier.
You know, Heimat started out thinking Rawat was a handsome researcher with a friendly and cheerful personality. It's such a surprise to learn that his peers have a different impression of him.
So what's your view of him now, Paimon?
A handsome researcher whose difficult upbringing turned him into a profit chaser with a chip on his shoulder?
So your thoughts about his appearance haven't changed at all?
Well, his looks are kind of a big deal, at least in Paimon's opinion. How does such a handsome guy end up being so antisocial? Even with his difficult family background, it just doesn't make any sense.
You can't judge a person solely based on their appearance.
Head nurse. Traveler. I assume you've spoken with the researchers. What did you find out?
Bertram mentioned Rawat's involvement with some pharmaceutical merchants. Do you know if he's registered any pharmaceutical brands?
Since he was a whistleblower on such a huge case, I ran a background check on him. I don't remember there being any brands under his name.
How strange. If he was so focused on commercializing his research and averse to sharing his technology with others, why wouldn't he have registered his own brands? Maybe he and his business partners needed to avoid public scrutiny?
You think he may have colluded with the gang? Well, the crime was manufacture and sale of drugs, and that would certainly be in his wheelhouse. We can't rule it out.
Isn't that pretty unlikely, though? He was the one who blew the whistle on them!
Most children who come to me with tooth decay have suffered pain for a long time already, but they'll still try to hide the fact that they eat too many sweets. Grown-ups and children aren't so different in that regard.
If you say so.
I saw him when he came to make his report, and I certainly didn't get the feeling that he was the type to collude with criminals. Perhaps it's more likely that they were coercing him. You mentioned that he comes from a poor family. So, it's possible that the criminals approached him asking for academic support, luring him in with the promise of riches. By the time he discovered who they really were, he was in too deep. They had leverage on him, so he was forced to keep working for them. I've seen it happen many times before.
That does make a lot of sense. It would definitely explain why he was so unwilling to cooperate with his fellow researchers. No wonder he's so unsociable. He must be on edge all the time with a gang of crooks breathing down his neck.
In that case, the situation could be worse than we thought. If Rawat was working with the escaped inmates, they're sure to know more about his whereabouts than us. Oh, there's a good chance they'll get to him before we do.
Based on the information we've gathered so far, he was last seen 2 days ago. If no one's seen him since, maybe we're too late.
2 days ago? So he went missing right after that product promotion.
That was the same day he reported the criminals, too. Not a good sign.
Don't worry, everyone. I believe we still have a chance. Since he disappeared right after blowing the whistle, it's likely that he's gone into hiding.
Yeah, he must have been worried that they'd come for him.
All the more reason to find him as soon as possible. The only lead we have at the moment is his mother's house, which you mentioned earlier. Seath, think you can find the place?
Yep. When you register a brand, the Court of Fontaine requires you to provide a legal address. The one Rawat wrote down was in the outskirts of the city. That should be the place.
Okay, then there's no time to lose. Let's move.
Take it easy.
All right, this should be the house. I'm pretty sure this was the address.
Okay, I'll knock.
Sounds like whoever's inside has restricted mobility. Oh, it seems serious. Oh, what's the fastest way to get this door open?
Break the door down?
No, I'll handle it. Let the expert deal with it. There'll be a mountain of paperwork if we damage a citizen's property. Calm down. Deep breaths. Remember your training. Control your strength. And... it's open!
Seath, take a few people and lie in wait. Keep your eyes peeled for any activity around the house. The Traveler, head nurse, and I will go inside.
No, don't look this way. I'm supposed to be hiding.